Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and to today's video. So today I am going to be giving a quick update, a quick pregnancy update. I am 30 weeks today exactly, and going to share what I have picked up for baby this week. So if you are interested in watching, then stick around. So I had my 30-week appointment today with the obstetrician and the diabetes specialist, and everything is looking fairly good right now. I had an ultrasound just prior to the appointment, and baby is still measuring very big. He's in the 95th percentile. So I was, at the time of the ultrasound, I was 29 weeks and 5 days, and he was measuring 31 weeks and 4 days, so he is very large. And for that reason, my doctor has suggested being induced. I think I might have mentioned that in my previous update, but he said it again today that I will likely be induced. And I spoke to him about my concerns about being induced, and of course if at any stage it's going to be safer for baby to be out of my tummy and induction is the best way to do that, then absolutely I have no problem with getting induced. And if it gets to later in the pregnancy and there are any complications or anything like that, I'll happily be induced. But I wanted to talk to the doctor about not just defaulting to an induction just because he's big and just because I have gestational diabetes. Like, I really wanted to make sure closer to the time of induction, so closer to 38 weeks, that he is going to be too big to progress with the pregnancy. And if the gestational diabetes is managed and everything, then I would prefer to kind of see if it can all happen naturally, if I can spontaneously go into labor. And not that I'm completely against inductions or anything like that. I had an induction with Elijah, my first son, but it would just be my preference to not automatically default to an induction if everything can happen naturally and spontaneously and it's safe to do so. So the doctor, was totally open to that, and we talked about it, and he said that we wouldn't be making any decisions until closer to the date, probably at 36 weeks. Well, I need to have another scan at 32 weeks and another scan at 36 weeks. And from the 36-week scan, we'll make a decision about the induction, and they'll book me in. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it will go ahead. It's just that there's limited spots in their books for induction, so they need to book me in case it does need to go ahead. So yeah, we'll make that decision then at 36 weeks. But I really appreciated how open he was to the fact that this time around I really just wanted to try spontaneous labor and natural labor and all of that. Not that my experience with being induced was a bad one. It was just, I would just like to try naturally. It was a very intense experience from start to finish, like from beginning contractions to when I had Elijah. It was an hour 45, and which part of me is like, that's great, it's, so quick, but also that was one contraction after the other, no break in between, very, very intense. So, and there are risks that come with being induced. So I was just talking to him about the potential of holding off on an induction if everything is going well and if baby and I are both safe. So he was very open and happy with that, which was great. Another thing that has come up, and this is totally TMI, but it's a pregnancy update, so I presume if you're watching it, you're interested in pregnancy-related things. But I have done a couple of urine tests, and both of them have shown that there is protein present. So that can be related to preeclampsia and to high blood pressure. My blood pressure readings have been okay when I've presented to the doctors. They've been within the normal range. So hopefully, I don't know what else causes. I think on Google, urinary tract infections can make protein be in your wee, but I'm really not sure. That was just a quick search on Google, so nothing, you know, medically reliable, dependent or anything. But I got some further blood tests today just to kind of check what's going on. And I got my whooping cough vaccination. And yeah, everything is going well. Like, his heartbeat is really good. His heart rate is very well. I've gone to the hospital twice with reduced movements, and both times I hadn't really felt him move at all for like a full day. And I had tried numerous things to get him moving, and it hadn't worked. So I had gone in there twice just to check, and both times, as soon as they put the monitor on me, he starts moving around like crazy. So I think he's just being, you know, having restful days on those days or something. So that was really all to report from my obstetrician appointment. Everything is looking good, and we're just going to reassess after my next scan. I have a student midwife that comes to all of my appointments with me. So she's studying to be a midwife, and you know, she comes along to my appointments for experience and everything, and she is wonderful. She's had, I think she's got 4 kids, so she's been through pregnancy and childbirth and all of that before. She's very familiar with it, and she's so open to all of my questions and everything. She's a great support person to have. So I think if that's available to you, it's really worth looking into, because I mean, it's a totally free service, and she just asks questions that I might not necessarily think of. Or if I text her something through the week, she'll remind me and bring it up at the appointment, like ask the doctor for me. So it's really wonderful. It's such a blessing to have her come along. And there's often a several hour wait before the appointment, so it's nice to have some company as well while I'm waiting for that. So a couple of things that we talked about was having a lot of skin to skin when baby is first born, and delayed cord clamping, and she was open to both of those things, and the hospital that I'm birthing at is open to both of those things, so that's really good. The other side of my appointment today was with the diabetes specialist, and thankfully at the moment I'm managing it well with my diet. I don't need any insulin. The only thing is that I'm not eating enough. So I've had a few high blood sugar level readings in the morning from fasting, and that is because I haven't eaten enough the night before. So my understanding from the diabetes education they gave us, that with gestational diabetes, at least, I don't know about any of the other kinds, but if you don't eat before you go to bed through the night, your blood sugar levels kind of drop, and your body, you're not eating obviously through the night, so your body doesn't get any sugar, and it kind of freaks out a little bit, and your liver is like, no worries, I've got you, here's some sugar, but it just pumps heaps and heaps and heaps of sugar into your blood system, more than what you need. And that's not good, because it makes babies insulin respond, and you know, it's not good for you. So you wake up in the morning with too much blood in your sugar. And that can I found that's kind of thrown off the rest of my day. So I need to make sure that I am eating enough right before I go to bed. And I mean, the fact that like I'm eating not enough, it's a good problem to have, isn't it? Like, it's so much better than eating, you know, like eating too much. It's a good problem to have, to try to fit a bit more food in. That's what I think anyway. So that is really all that I have to report from my appointments today. Like I said, baby is moving around quite a lot, and I'm feeling pretty good. Sleep is staying away from me. I don't know what I did to offend it, but I just can't get it to hang around. But that's okay. It's just preparing me for when baby comes. So now I will just show you what we picked up for baby this week. So the first thing that I picked up was this kind of change table organizer. It's by Prince Lionheart, and I think it's Organize the Chaos Diaper Depot. I'm not sure of its exact name, but I picked this up, and the wipe warmer that goes with it. Now, we actually put this on the change table last night, and just a word of warning, this green light is really bright, and we have our change table in the bedroom, and it's like super bright. So just be mindful when you're setting it up, when you're deciding where to put it, that this light that lights up here is very bright. My son he was like, oh, it's like an alien eye, which was a bit cute. But yeah, so I picked that up. And then I just picked up some hand sanitizer just for the nappy bag, and some Sudocrem or Sudocrem. Oh, I've never noticed that there's not an A in that. I wonder if, I've always said it's Sudocrem. I wonder if it's Sudocrem. I don't know, but I picked up some of this. Obviously, when we do cloth nappies, this one is not appropriate to use unless you use like a disposable, oh, what are they called? Like the little kind of bamboo insert that you can put on and just throw out, because I think this kind of cream can wreck the nappy. But we are just going to do regular nappies to begin with, just while we're in the hospital and maybe for the first week or so. So I got that, and some of these Baby Bumpkins wipes. I already bought the water wipes last week, but I think that I'll leave those at home, and this one will just be a good size one to take to the hospital in the nappy bag. And they won the Mother and Baby Gold Award last year here in Australia, so I thought I would just give those ones a try. And then I bought some nursing pads. Again, I am going to buy some reusable nursing pads, but I just want to have these on hand just for the really early days, if I might not be up to doing a ton of washing and everything, you know, straight away. These will just be handy to have, particularly in the hospital and things. And these disposable change mats. Now, I don't really use these a great deal, but I do think they are great for when you're out and about, if baby has had like a big explosion or something and you just need to change them on something that can just get thrown away. Sometimes it's just not appropriate to whip out your kind of reusable change pad. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to have these. So like I said, I don't use them a lot. I think they're kind of wasteful, and I do tend to reuse them if it's not too messy, like if it's not didn't get messy. But they're just good to have sometimes when you're out and about, or when you're at shops or something and you just need a bit more space to change them. These are handy to have. And then I also bought some Aiden and Anai swaddles, just in these pretty they're kind of almost purpley blue, like a really light purple blue, and they are the swaddling, the muslin blankets, which are lovely. They just feel so good. So I'm excited to give those a wash and see how they feel. We do have the Halo swaddle sleep suits that I picked up last week. If you haven't seen that haul, I will leave it in the link below so you can have a look. But just in case baby doesn't like those sleep suits, and we want to try, you know, these during the day or something, these are also can be used for nursing covers things, because they're, you know, they're really big. So that was great. And actually, a funny story about this is that when I was paying for everything, I had a rough idea on how much everything was going to cost. I kind of was adding up as I was going, because I'm really conscious about budget and everything. I like to stay in budget. And I had an idea about how much everything was going to cost, and it was significantly cheaper. And I thought, well, that's good. Something must have just been on sale, and I didn't realize. So I got back to the car and I checked the receipt to see which one it was, you know, that was on sale. And it turns out she hadn't scanned these. She had put them in the bag. I mean, I had put them on the counter. She put them in the bag, but she hadn't scanned them. And they're quite expensive. So anyway, I didn't feel like it. I was sore and I was tired, but I took them back in and I paid for them. And, you know, you always feel so much better after you do the right thing. So, and the lady was really thankful that, you know, I went back and paid for them. And then that night, when I got home, I was looking online at a baby store. It's a local baby store, but they also have an online store. And I was looking at that, and I was looking at car seats. And I found that the car seat that we wanted had almost $200 off. It was a massive sale. It was this like 48-hour frenzy sale they were talking about. And I just smiled, because I just think so often, like, you do the right thing, the universe or God or, you know, whatever you believe, it sees it and it goes out there, and then so often if you're open to receiving something, you know, that can happen. So I feel like I went and paid X amount of dollars for this, but then I saved $200 on the car seat. So we bought that car seat, and oh, sorry about my big bump showing in there. Yeah, so we bought the car seat last night as well, and that is just on its way. It's getting delivered. I think it should just take a few days. So that was really exciting. I'm very happy about that deal. We've just gotten so many good deals with all of the things that we've been looking at. Like last week, you know, there was that, I think it was at 20 or 30% off sale. And this week, saving a heap on the car seat as well. But yeah, that was everything we got this week. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. I'll be putting similar videos out each week for the remainder of the pregnancy. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care. Goodbye.